And come with me while I travel to LA to board the Discovery Princess for a 7-day West Coast California plus Mexico cruise. This cruise itinerary is perfect for anyone who's never been to California or who wants to visit LA, San Francisco, San Diego, all on the same trip. It's the perfect itinerary. I love taking early morning flights from Houston because those are the ones that are less likely to get delayed. Houston has a lot of delays, so I like to get there quickly. When we got to LA, we got our bags and we waited for the shuttle to the Hyatt House. The driver was clearly trying out for the Fast and the Furious. I mean, he was hitting those curves. The bellhop was so slow. He took his time with my bags, but it is my husband, and he did not get a tip. We were able to check in early at 10 o'clock and upgraded to a higher floor room, one of the many perks of owning a travel business, so I always appreciate that. We were only staying one night before our cruise, so I always recommend that everyone arrive at least one day prior to your cruise in the city of the port. Attempting to fly the same day of the cruise is so risky. So either there's a delayed flight or they didn't make it to the cruise port on time. Just arrive at least the night before your cruise. On the morning of the cruise, we checked out and we Ubered to the port. I didn't know exactly what to expect because I have never traveled out of a California cruise port, and this is my first time cruising on Princess. When I got there, I was unpleasantly surprised that the San Pedro port was so disorganized. They do not enforce the times to arrive, so it was a bunch of people being there waiting in lines. I didn't appreciate that they didn't have a special line for suite guests. There was no VIP areas. There was no breakfast. There was no champagne. We didn't get a special room, something that we have always experienced at all the Florida ports. So we're just used to a certain type of treatment. And being that Princess is a premier class, I thought that it was going to be similar, not at the San Pedro port. That doesn't not mean anything about Princess in other ports. It was just Princess at that port. For those of you guys who are not aware, Princess is the premium cruise line owned by Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival Cruise Line owns so many cruises, but this is their premium line in the US. There are many similarities in operations, but Princess, you're not going to get entertained by the lively cruise director. There is not going to be so many activities back to back, a million things to do on board. Princess is more for travelers who are relaxed. They want a calmer environment in contrast to Carnival. One thing that I absolutely love about Princess is the medallions. Listen, the medallions need to be implemented cruise-wide. I don't care what cruise line, all of the cruise lines need the medallions. It makes Princess stand out above the rest. I hate carrying a cruise card. I hate having a lanyard. The medallions are definitely a perk. Stay tuned for part 2 of my